Dear students, in this video we will understand the topic of probability. Before starting, let us understand the basic meaning of this word probability. Probability simply means possibility. Possibility of what? Possibility of happening or not happening some event. Suppose capital E is some event. Then PE represents probability of happening that event and PE dash represents probability of not happening that event, and the sum of these two probabilities is always 1. So PE plus PE dash is always 1. One more thing, probability of any event is always less than or equal to 1 and greater than equal to 0. In other words, you can say PE belongs to closed interval 0, 1. This and this have the same meaning. PE belongs to closed interval 0, 1 means that value of PE is a real number varying from 0 to 1. So now we have understood the basic meaning of probability. To understand probability in details, we need to know some basic terms and some basic definitions. First of all, I will tell you about random experiment. Random experiments. Students, in our day-to-day life, we come across two types of experiments. Number one, experiments whose results are sure, whose results are same every time when we repeat those experiments. For example, if I say that I am adding NaOH with HCl, then I will get NaCl plus H2O. It's a simple chemical equation, which means when you are adding NaOH with HCl, you are getting NaCl plus H2O. If you repeat this experiment any number of times, you can predict in advance that what will happen. So this event is giving us same result every time when we repeat it. Let us take one more example. Suppose I give you a triangle, any random triangle, and I ask you to find out the sum of these three angles. So we all of us know that the sum of these interior angles will be 180 degree. And if you repeat this experiment any number of times with any type of triangle, you will always get the same result. So you can always predict the result of this experiment while performing this experiment. Here experiment means finding the sum of interior angles of triangle. One more example. If you do the sum of 2 and 3, you will always get 5. No matter how many times you are repeating this experiment, every time you will get 5. So this experiment is also giving us same result every time on repetition. So these experiments are not random experiments. These results are experiments whose results is same every time. So what are the random experiments? Question is that, what are the random experiments? Random experiments are those experiments whose results or outcome may vary when repeated a large number of times. For example, if you toss a coin, you are having a coin, and if you toss it, then what will happen? Either you will obtain head or you will obtain tail. In short, I can say H and T. So when we toss a coin, we know that either head will come or tail will come. But while tossing the coin, we cannot predict in advance that exactly what will come. Whether it will be a head or it will be a tail, we don't know. No one knows. So this type of experiment is known as random experiment. So how can we define random experiment? Random experiments are those experiments which satisfy two conditions. Condition number one, they have two or more possible outcomes. Note that they have two or more possible outcomes. And condition number two, while performing the experiment or during the performance of the experiment, no one can predict, no one can tell that exactly what is going to happen, exactly what outcome is about to come. So if these two conditions are satisfied, then our experiment is known as random experiment, and the result, possible result of random experiment is known as outcome. So in this case, in the case of this coin, H and T are the two outcomes. Next topic is sample space. Sample space is denoted by capital S. What is sample space? It's very simple. If we perform a random experiment, then the set, note down this word set, then the set of all the possible outcomes is known as sample space. In short form, I can say sample space S is the set of all possible outcomes. This curly bracket and this curly bracket are the symbol of set. When we have to make any set, we need to use curly brackets in the starting and in the end. That we have already studied in the chapter of sets. While understanding the topic of probability, my request to all of you is that you please revise the chapter set and the chapter of permutation combination, because the chapter of set and chapter of permutation combination will be used a large number of times in this chapter. And without understanding these two chapters, sets and permutation combination, it is not possible, it is almost impossible to understand the chapter of probability. And one more thing, the chapter of probability mainly deals with the random experiments. I have told you two types of experiments, random experiments and other experiments whose results are always same. So the chapter of probability is mainly dealing with the random experiments only. And in this chapter, whenever experiment word is written, so this experiment word will refer to random experiments only. Okay, unless stated otherwise. Now we will see some examples to understand the meaning of sample space. Examples for S. Example number 1. Suppose a coin is tossed. We have a coin and we are tossing this coin. So what outcomes are possible? Possible outcomes are H and T. If I make the set of these outcomes, then it will become sample space for this experiment. Example number 2. If we throw a die, then on die, what are the possible outcomes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the possible outcomes of a die. When we play or when we throw a die, then we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. So if I make the set of them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then it will represent the sample space for this experiment. Let us see more examples. Example number 3. Suppose we are tossing two coins simultaneously. This first coin is having H and T as its personal outcomes, and similarly second coin. So you see, you are tossing two coins simultaneously. It has two outcomes of its own, and similarly it also has two outcomes of its own. So 2 into 2 becomes 4. So total number of outcomes for the group of two coins will be, sample space will be HH, HT, TH, TT. So we are having four outcomes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Two outcomes were for first coin, two outcomes were for second coin, and 2 multiplied by 2 gives 4. So it is having 4 outcomes. Now what is the difference between HT and TH? HT means on the first coin head appearing, on the second coin tail is appearing, and TH is just reverse of that. TH means on first coin T was there, and on H means on the second coin H was there. What is the meaning of TT? TT means that on both the coins tail appeared, and similarly HH means on both the coins head appeared. Next, example number 4. It's a good example. Suppose we are tossing a coin. On tossing a coin, if head appears, we toss the coins once again, which further gives us head tail. But if this first coin gives you tail, in that case we are throwing a die, and die has 6 outcomes. So this picture is representing some experiment. If I want to explain this experiment in words, then what will I say? I can say a coin is tossed. If coin shows head, coin is tossed second time. But if coin shows tail on the first toss, then we throw a die. So what will be the sample space for this? Sample space for this experiment will be generated in this way. You have to associate this H with H. So HH, then associate H with T, HT. In the same way, you have to combine this letter T with these digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. So it is the sample space for this experiment. So students, I hope that you have understood the meaning of random experiment and the meaning of sample space. Now we are moving to our next topic, which is event. Event is generally denoted by E, but any letter can be used for it. There is no foundation that always E will be used. You can use other letters like F, G, H, capital A, capital B, etc. Now what is event? Event is subset of sample space. This sign is the sign of subset. So I am telling you the meaning of subset with the help of example. Suppose I have set A having elements 1, 2, 3 and another set B equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you can see that all the elements of A are present in B. So in this situation, A is subset of B. It is the symbol of subset, and it means that all the elements of A are present in B. If all the elements of A are present in B, then we say that A is subset of B. You can see this example. A is having elements 1, 2, 3 and B is also having 1, 2, 3. So all the elements of A are present in B. That's why A is subset of B. Okay, so I hope you have understood the meaning of subset. So event is subset of sample space. This is the definition of event. In short, you can say E is subset of sample space. E is the symbol of event and S is the symbol of sample space. Let us understand it with the help of example. Suppose a die is thrown. When you throw a die, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the possible outcomes. So what is the sample space for this experiment? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is the sample space for this experiment. Now suppose in exam, E event is defined in this way. E is event of odd digit from die. In question or in exam, someone is giving us that E is event of getting odd digit from die. So from this die, which are the odd digits? 1, 3 and 5. So inside E, 1, 3 and 5 will be used because 1, 3 and 5 are odd numbers. So you see that all the elements of A, all the elements of E are present in S. E is having 1, 3, 5 and S is also having 1, 3, 5. All the elements of E are present in S. So here E is subset of S. So always it will happen that event will be the subset of sample space. It will be always happening. If you consider any other example, even in that situation, event will become the subset of sample space. Let us consider one more example. Suppose two coins are tossed. These are two coins. On tossing the two coins, sample space is HH, HT, TH and TT. And someone say you that event F, it's such that tail comes. So F can have HT, TH and TT. So I have written all those possible outcomes in which T is present. And if you check, then all the elements of F are also present in S. So F is subset of S. So students, remember that what is event? Event is just a subset of sample space. Suppose some sample space is given to you and you want to make event E, then what you will do? From the outcomes of the sample space, you will have to select special elements. You will select special elements from all the elements of sample space and you will use those selected elements here. And how that selection will be done? That selection will be done according to the condition given in the question. So you have to follow the condition given in the question, and according to that condition, some elements or maybe all elements or maybe no element. So some elements or all elements or no element will be selected here, and the selected elements will be written inside the curly brackets, and that will give us the value of event E. After this, we will understand some types of events. Types of events. On number 1, I am taking impossible event. Impossible event is denoted by letter phi. Phi is used to denote impossible event. What is impossible event? Its name is suggesting its meaning. Impossible means which is not possible. So actually impossible event is that which can never happen. Impossible event is that which has no element inside it. Impossible event is that which has no sample point inside it. You can say it in many ways. Let us understand with the help of example. Suppose S is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope you know that this sample space is representing which experiment. This sample space is representing throwing a die. Okay, suppose it is the sample space and I give you E such that event of getting multiple of 10. Multiple of 10. Now all of us know that on the die 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits are there and there is no multiple of 10. Multiple of 10 means number divisible by 10. On die there is no number which can be divided by 10. On die there is no multiple of 10. So it means inside this event I cannot take any element. It will remain blank. So this event is having no element. This event is having no sample point, or I can say that NE equal to 0. NE means number of elements in event. N means number of elements and E means event. So number of elements in the set E or in the event E is 0. So this is impossible event. Impossible event. P phi equal to 0. What is the meaning of this? It means that probability of impossible event is 0. When we talk about the impossible event, then its probability is always taken 0 because it can never happen. And the thing which can never happen has no possibility, has no probability. It means 0 probability. Next, on number 2, sure event. Again, its name is suggesting its meaning very well. Sure event is that event which always happens and its probability is always 1 because the highest value of any probability is 1, so probability of sure event is also 1. See example, suppose S is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and event is also having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this situation, this event is having all the elements of the sample space. And whenever this happens, whenever event contains all the elements of sample space, it becomes sure event because it will definitely happen or on performing. In words, how can I say? Suppose I give you E such that event of getting natural number less than 7. So students, who are the natural numbers less than 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and all of these are present on the die also. So that's why E will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are natural numbers less than 7 and also present on die. So here E and S are having exactly same elements. So here E is equal to S. It means E is sure event and probability of sure event is 1, which is the highest probability of any event. Probability of any event cannot be more than 1. Number 3, simple event. Simple event are those which have exactly one element in them. If an event has only one element, then we call it simple event. For example, suppose S is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and I say E such that event of digit greater than 5. If I say that E is the event of digit greater than 5, so out of these 6 digits, which digit is greater than 5? Only 6. So this implies that E equal to 6. Inside the set of E, only 6 will be written because only 6 is greater than 5. So here what is happening? This E is having only one element. And when the event possesses only one element, then we call it simple event. Number 4, compound event. Compound event are those which have 2 or more elements in them. Compound events are those which have 2 or more elements. For example, let us consider same sample space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and suppose we have event F such that event of getting digit less than 3. So what are the digits less than 3? Less than 3 digits are these. So here what is happening? That F is having 2 elements. So it is becoming compound event. Suppose I change it less than 4. So which digits are less than 4. So less than 4 digits are 1, 2, 3. So again it is compound event. So compound events are those which have 2 or more than 2 elements in them. Next, number 5. Mutually exclusive events. If two events have no common element, then we call them mutually exclusive events. Very simple. If two events have nothing common, then we call them mutually exclusive events. For example, suppose E is equal to 135 and F is equal to 246. So you can see that E and F are totally disjoint from each other. They have nothing in common. So these E and F are becoming example of mutually exclusive events. Next and last type of event is exhaustive events. Suppose E and F are two events. Let E and F are two events such that number 1, E intersection F is equal to 5, and second, E union F is equal to S. Then E comma F are called exhaustive. Now let me explain this. This is the sign of intersection. Intersection means taking common. And this is the sign of union, which means combining. Where did we study these symbols? We studied these symbols in the chapter of set. Okay? To understand the use of them, I am giving you one example. Suppose A is equal to 1, 2, 3, B is equal to 3, 4, 7. If I say that do A intersection B, so when you will do intersection, you will have to take common. So in these two sets, 3 is common element, so 3 will come as a result. Suppose I say you do A union B, then you will have to combine them. On combining, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 7. And 3 will not be repeated. It's also a rule of set. In set, elements are not repeated. So I have told you the meaning of union and intersection. Now see this definition once again. Exhaustive events. Let E and F are two events such that E and F are two events such that E intersection F equal to 5. It means that E comma F have no common element. E intersection F equal to 5 means E and F have no common element. They are totally disjoint from each other. Okay, or they are mutually exclusive. Second condition, E union F equal to S. It means if I combine E and F, then I get the sample space. Okay, so if E and F have nothing in common, if on combining E and F sample space becomes, then E and F are called exhaustive. So types of events are finished. Next we are taking algebra of events. Number 1, event E or F. It is denoted by the symbol E union F. What is this event? Let us understand with the help of Venn diagram. Venn diagram was also taught you in the chapter of sets. This rectangle is representing the sample space. Inside S, first circle, second circle, it is representing E and it is representing F. If we shade the total area of E and F, combined area of E and F, then it represents E union F. And E union F in words is called event E or F. So what is the meaning of E or F? E or F, that is E union F, is event when E happens or F happens or both happens. E union F contains the combined elements of E and F. Now number 2, event E and F. Here I used the word or and here I am using the word and. It is denoted by E intersection F. Again I will make Venn diagram for this. This rectangle is representing the sample space. These two circles are representing events E and F respectively. This shaded portion, and I have done the shade in common part, represents E intersection F. So what is E intersection F? E intersection F is that event when both E and F happens simultaneously. When both E and F happens simultaneously, it means E and F is happening. It is denoted by intersection sign. And what does E intersection F contain? E intersection F contains all the common elements both of the sets E and F. Number 3. Event E but not F. Event E but not F. It is denoted by E minus F. Understand it with the help of Venn diagram. Sample space, set E, event E, event F. This is the known common part of E. We call it non-common part of E. And similarly, this portion will be called non-common part of F. This non-common part of E is called E minus F. So E minus F is that event when E happens but F does not happen. I am repeating, when E happens but F doesn't happen, then we say that E minus F is happening. And E minus F contain those elements of E which are different from F. E minus F contains non-common elements of E only. Okay? Next and last is complementary event of E. It is denoted by E dash. It's very easy. Suppose it is sample space. This is event E. Then the outside portion of E is called complementary event of E, which is denoted by E dash. Okay, so what is E dash? E dash is actually the event when E is not happening. E dash or E complement is that event which when E is not happening. So not happening of E is called E dash. Probability of E and probability of E dash, if we do the sum of them, result is always 1. Let us understand this algebra of events with the help of example. Suppose I have sample space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Event E is 1, 2, 3. Event F is suppose 3, 4, 6. On first number, if I want to find out E intersection F. So intersection means common. So in these two events take common. So common element is 3. On second, if I want to find out E union F, union means combining. Do combine them. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 6 is mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So we have obtained union. Third, if I want to find E minus F, what is the value of E? 1, 2, 3 minus what is the value of F? 3, 4, 6. Now cancel the common elements. Common element is 3. So you will have to take non-common elements of first set 1, 2 and ignore the non-common elements of second set. Suppose you want to find out F minus E. Then F will come first. 3, 4, 6 minus E will come second, 1, 2, 3. Cancel the common elements and take the non-common elements of first set only. It is first set, it is second set, and non-common elements are remaining elements 4, 6. So intersection, union and difference. One more example, one more thing. Suppose I want to find out E dash. So E dash will be obtained by this formula. We have actually seen this formula in the chapter of sets. What is the value of S? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minus. What is the value of E? 1, 2, 3. Cancel the common elements. So what is left? 4, 5, 6. In the first set, 4, 5, 6 are left. In the second set, nothing is left. And when we do the negation, when we do the subtraction of sets, we take the non-common elements of first set only, and we don't see the non-common elements of second set. While subtracting two sets or two events, you have to take non-common elements of first set only and don't bother about the remaining elements of second set. So algebra of events is finished. Now we will come to last section of this chapter, in which I will tell you some standard formulas. Okay, these formulas will be used throughout your 11th class also, 12th class also. Formula number 1, PE is equal to NE upon NS. Let us understand the meaning of this, that what is NE, what is NS. First of all, NE. NE means number of elements in the event. NE means number of elements in the event. And in the same way, NS means number of elements in the sample space. For example, if E is equal to 1 to 5, then value of NE will be 3. If E is equal to 1, 2, 7, 8, 6, then NE will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this way. In the same way, you can understand NS also. So NE is the number of elements in event T, and NS is the number of elements in the set S. And what is PE? In PE, P stands for probability and E stands for event. So overall meaning of PE is probability of event E. So PE equal to NE upon NS. Second formula, which you studied in 10th class also, number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. This formula you have studied in 10th class. Formula number 3, PE equal to A upon A plus B. In this formula, what is A? A is the number of methods by which event can happen, and B means number of methods by which event cannot happen. Or A is the number of favorable methods and B is the number of unfavorable methods. One more thing, A ratio B is called odds in favor. And similarly, B ratio A is called odds against. Formula number 4, probability of any event is less than equal to 1 and greater than equal to 0. Probability of event plus probability of its complementary event is always 1. So from here you can say that PE dash is equal to 1 minus PE. Number 6, A union B whole dash equal to A dash intersection B dash, and A intersection B whole dash equal to A dash union B dash. These two formulas are known as De Morgan's law. De Morgan's law. Number 7, P phi is equal to 0. P phi means probability of impossible event, and PS is equal to 1. It means probability of a sure event is 1. Number 8, PA union B is equal to PA plus PB minus PA intersection B. Number 9, PA union B union C is equal to PA plus PB plus PC minus PA intersection B minus PB intersection C, PC intersection A plus PA intersection B intersection C. Formula number 10. Suppose it is sample space and this sample space is having many outcomes like omega 1, omega 2, omega 3 and at last omega n. Okay, omega 1, omega 2, omega 3 and so on up to omega n are the outcomes of the sample space. And let us assume that omega I is general outcome. This omega I can represent all the outcomes from omega 1 to omega n. Now we have two rules regarding it. First of all, probability of any outcome is less than equal to 1, greater than equal to 0. Probably it is rule regarding the probability of outcome. And another rule is summation. Summation means sum of probabilities of all the outcomes is always 1. If I do the sum of probabilities of all these outcomes, then result will always be 1. Number 11. Suppose we have event and this event E is having outcomes omega 1, omega 2, omega 3 and up to omega n like this. In the same way, then first rule is P omega I, it means probability of any outcome is less than equal to 1, greater than equal to 0. And second, summation of all the probabilities will be equal to probability of the event. So there is a slightly difference between these 2 points, but actually these are same. Last, number 12. At last, I want to say you that if you want to understand this chapter probability clearly, then you have to do chapter of sets and chapter of permutation combination. Permutation and combination. Without the knowledge of these 2 chapters, it is not possible to understand the chapter of probability completely. One more thing, in 12th class, the chapter of probability will also come. In that, we will continue with some more things, but the knowledge of 11th class probability will be required there. Okay, so for the probability of 12th class, the probability of 11th class is foundation stone. I have uploaded sufficient number of videos on these chapters. You can take help from them. Okay, if you have any doubt or any problem, you can write in the comment box. Thank you very much.